What is going on, my fellow OMI homies? It's Foster, and I'm back at it again with another VeVe Andy Comey video. Guys, this video is coming to you by your request. This is something that I was receiving comments about all throughout today. Now that staking is live on Ascendex, a bunch of people had migrated their tokens over to VeVe Layer 2 before the migration took place back in January. And as we know, there's not a large use case for the tokens right now, so a lot of people have their tokens sitting on layer 2, and a lot of people want to know how do they bridge their tokens back over to layer 1 so they can put them on the Ascendex platform in order to stake and start receiving APR. I want to start off by saying, before I get too far into this video is of course not financial advice. I will be going over how I went about moving my tokens from layer 2 to layer 1, but I do encourage everyone to do your own research. Make sure that you read the Medium articles, and if you're not sure about a step, feel free to ask for help, whether it be from me down in the comment section down below or from anyone else in the community that may be knowledgeable. The last thing that I want to see anyone do is take a step that they're not sure about and end up losing out on their OMI tokens. So make sure that when you guys are doing this, you are trading safely. So with that being said, where do we find this information? As we can see, Comey right now has a pinned tweet talking about the Ascendex staking program that has recently come out. We see in this Medium article that they've released that came out on May 18th, we go through it and it talks about the details of the staking. And as a part of it, when we talk about staking the tokens, it talks about how Ascendex only accepts ERC20 OMI tokens. So what that means is ERC is the type of token, and of course OMI token is the token that you own. And it talks about how if you have wrapped OMI or a different Go chain OMI, that you need to use the old instructions. So if you do have tokens on a trust wallet, let's say, or for some reason that are still Go chain OMI tokens, make sure that you click on the instructions and follow those, as you will not be able to use this method in order to transmit your OMI from layer 2 to layer 1. But what we're focusing on today is this Medium article here, the how to bridge your OMI tokens. Because of course, if you have your OMI tokens in the VeVe app right now, you have layer 2 OMI and cannot send them directly to Ascendex to stake. This is very important. If you just enter in your Ascendex OMI address from the layer 2 OMI wallet and try and send it directly, you do run the risk of losing your tokens, which is why I am here. I'm making this video. I'm out of pocket on it, but I'm more than happy to put this out for the community to make sure that everyone has a successful experience and we can all grow and enjoy the OMI token together. So this is the Medium article. As you can see, it's a 23-minute read, and I do not want this video to be an hour long, so I'm not going to be reading through all of it right now, but there are a few key points that we do need to hit on. And one of the things to keep in mind as well is this article does go over how to take your tokens from layer 1, which means, you know, in your Metamask or your trust wallet or on an exchange such as Ascendex or Bitforex or Gate.io, and move the tokens onto layer 2, the VeVe Web Wallet. Once we get OMI staking and we get OMI to NFT, there'll be a big reason to move your tokens or keep them on the VeVe app, at which point I will put out a video as to how to do that. But right now we want to know, how do we take our tokens off of the layer 2 web wallet? Maybe we're not even doing it to stake. Maybe we're just ready to take some profits, or we're not interested in the project anymore. Whatever your reason is, this video will help you get what you need to do accomplished. So we're going to skip section 1. We don't need to know what OMI is. We don't really need to read about the IMX bridge. We will get into it though. We don't need to talk about the migration. We know who needs to bridge our tokens because we've talked about it. We need Metamask. That's the first thing that people need to be aware of. Now, if you're watching this video right now and you don't know what Metamask is, this is my Metamask. I just clicked on it and it showed up on my screen. The important thing to remember when you're using the IMX bridge is you can only do it on the web browser of Metamask. It needs to be downloaded on your web browser. You cannot do this on your mobile device, and it does indicate that in here as well, but just want to reiterate, you need to do this on your computer. So you can see this is my Metamask. If you've never signed up for Metamask, you can click here and you can see that it brings you to the official metamask.io website, and you can download Metamask. Now, this video is not a how to create a Metamask video. However, there are about 100 very capable YouTube videos on there that you guys can watch if you're looking how to create a Metamask. Watch that, put my video on pause, and then come back once you've created a Metamask. If you already have a Metamask, then we're ready to go. So the next thing that we're moving on to is 2.3, which is connecting our Metamask to the IMX token bridge. Now you can see here as well, and I want to emphasize, guys, make sure that you are clicking on the official links that are coming from the Medium articles. Those are the only legitimate sources of links that you're going to be receiving from Ecomi. Don't even trust the links that I put down in the description down below. Hey, you know, this is the token swap site. I will never do that for this exact reason, that this is the official source. Get it from the official source. So you see, if we click on this, it opens up the bridge. I already had it open, but I can close it. This is the one that we have open. And that is the bridge site that we're going to be using in order to add Ethereum onto layer 2 so that we can pay for gas fees, as well as bridge our tokens from the VeVe Web App onto the IMX bridge before we're able to move it into our Metamask and then move it onto our exchanges. I will admit, guys, as I was putting this video together, there's a lot more steps that I had originally anticipated. I thought this video was going to be fairly straightforward, but I do acknowledge that this can be quite overwhelming for people that are fairly new to crypto. I've been dealing with crypto and even doing escrow deals for people for the better part of 6 months now, and even I found this process somewhat overwhelming. So don't be afraid to pause the video, hit J on your keyboard a few times, go back and re-listen to certain things. And like I said, if you still don't understand something, let me know in the comment section down below. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys out to make sure that you can get this process done safely. So we've clicked on the Immutable X bridge. Now, some of these features that we're going to go through, you guys will not see me do in real time, for the sole fact that I wanted to run it through once myself before I made this video, because I wanted to feel confident in what I was talking about. So as an example, linking your Immutable X platform to your Metamask is something that I've already done. So it will only ever prompt you to do that the very first time that you join the Immutable X bridge. But this is essentially what it looks like here on my screen. It's just basically asking your Metamask to have permissions to use the Immutable X bridge site. And if for whatever reason you don't feel comfortable providing them with permissions, that is fine, but just be mindful that you are not able to do this process if you do not give the Immutable X bridge permissions to access your MetaMask wallet. So if you're ever unsure, you know, you don't have to do any of this, but just be mindful that your tokens will be stuck on layer 2 otherwise. So once you've connected your wallet and you get this prompt and you've confirmed it, you will now have your MetaMask wallet connected to the bridge site. There's about 3 prompts that you have to go through. They don't cost you anything, but there's about 3 separate connect screens that popped up, and I just confirmed them every single time, and it worked out for me, no issues. The article does reference here that if you do have some issues with it for whatever reason, you can try and connect your MetaMask to the Immutable X marketplace directly, as that may help you out. Once again, I didn't have any issues and found it fairly straightforward. We're not going to go through the warnings and advice, but obviously, as it's iterated several times, make sure that you guys are using the official Medium articles and links. If anyone reaches out to you, pretends to be from the team, if anyone reaches out to you and pretends to be me, I'm not asking you for your seed phrase. I'm not asking for any of that. That's a scammer or a phisher, and you're going to lose your money if you give them that information. Do not, under any circumstance, give anyone your seed phrase or any of your VeVe usernames or passwords. That's just asking for bad news. Don't do it, guys. So we're going to skip over section 4 and 5 because, once again, that is how to put OMI onto layer 2, which will be another video that we will do at some point. But once again, we want to know, how do we take our OMI off? So we're going to go all the way down to section 6. How to send OMI from the VeVe app. So in order to withdraw tokens from the VeVe app, you must first send them from your in-app OMI wallet to the MetaMask wallet address that you have connected to Immutable Layer 2. Once again, this is our MetaMask, and the Immutable bridge site, we've already linked it, which was the confirmations that we did in the previous step. Once that's done, we have it all linked and we are ready to proceed with taking our OMI off of the VeVe app and adding it to the Immutable X bridge site. So as you can see here, these are the steps that we're going to follow. You're going to sign into the VeVe Web Wallet using your user VeVe login credentials. So whatever you use to log in on your mobile device, your username and password, that is how you're going to log on to the Web Wallet. As you can see, I clicked the official link and it brought me here to my web wallet. I've already logged in, I've already entered my 2FA because it'll save us time, and this is what my account looks like. So what is our next step? We're going to click Send Receive under your OMI balance. So as we can see here, send and receive, and then we are going to click on the MetaMask wallet extension in our browser and make sure that the wallet that's connected to the wallet address is the same one that we've previously connected to the bridge site. So what it means by that is, this is my wallet address. This is my account information. We can't see all of it because it grays it out. But is that the same wallet? The 0x93 ending in E2, 0x93 ending in E2. So we know that it's the same account. We just want to verify that it's the same account. This is my MetaMask, and I do have it actively linked to the IMX bridge site. So once we've accomplished that, we are going to paste our address from our wallet here in our MetaMask. We are going to copy it to clipboard. And then once we copy it to clipboard, we are going to right-click paste. The reason that I right-click paste and I do not Control V paste is because if you accidentally hit V twice, then this address, well, it doesn't show up right now, but you could conceivably accidentally add an extra character and then you're sending it to the wrong address, which of course we don't want to do. Now, all we're going to do, I currently have a balance of 4,999 tokens. We would enter whatever you wanted to do, 1 token, 5 tokens, all of your tokens, and you would click Send OMI. Now, the reason I'm not going to do that is because as we look in our transactions, I did the test transaction before this video went live. So I know that this works already, and this is the transaction details. So that is what I did. I took the information from this, went over here, opened up my MetaMask, once again, copied to clipboard, send, receive, paste, and then the amount of OMI, and you send it. You will have to fill out a 2FA code before you send, but then you've sent it. And now it is transmitted over to the Immutable X bridge site. Want to reiterate once again, you cannot send your tokens directly from the VeVe Web Wallet to Ascendex or to Bitforex or to Metamask even. If you do that, you could conceivably lose your tokens if it's not linked to layer 2. So we'll move on from this. Some of these steps are important. You guys can read them yourselves. Once again, I've already gone through it, so I've familiarized myself with it. But once you've read all of it, you will understand that they did a very good job of providing the screenshots. The bridge test, once again, that is just my account right here. It just says bridge test instead. Copy to clipboard, that's what pops up here. They did a very good job of laying out the pictures for you guys. So if you're ever unsure, you can compare it with what you're doing. You can go back and forth and see, is this what I'm doing? And you'll see that it is. Now you can see that we've already entered in our 2FA code. We've gone through all of these factors. And now we're on to step 7, which is how to withdraw OMI from layer 2 to layer 1. So there is a 2-step process in order to do this. And I will be honest with you guys, it's a little bit of a pain right now that we are running into these issues where it's a multi-step process. However, they do indicate in the article that there are some platforms that are coming out that are making bridging between layer 2 platforms and even layer 2 to layer 1 platforms a lot more seamless. And I think as layer 2 solutions become more popular and more mainstream, I think we will see this become a much more seamless process, as it could take quite a while, even if you are familiar with how to conduct the process. So we're now withdrawing from layer 2 to layer 1. What we're focusing on right now is making sure that we have Ethereum in our layer 2 OMI wallet, if we don't already have some, in order to complete this gas fee. Now, you will incur a couple of gas fees when you are completing this transaction. I did have a few people ask me to try and keep track. I haven't actually finished the entire process yet because I'm still waiting on the last transaction to confirm. So I'm still 1 gas fee short, but I've spent approximately $16 so far in order to complete 2 of the 3 transactions. So I feel like it's safe to say that depending on gas fees, it'll cost you about $25 in order to get your Ethereum onto layer 2 and then your OMI tokens back over to layer 1. It's not a terrible cost, but once again, if you're only transacting maybe $50 or $100 worth of OMI, it's probably not worth it at that point in order to incur that cost. If you're going to be incurring that cost, you're probably going to be using more OMI, but that's entirely up to you guys at the end of the day. So how do we make sure that we have Ethereum on layer 2? This is our step 7.1. So we need to have something on hand to cover the gas fees. So what we're going to do is we're going to deposit, and this is on the IMX bridge site, deposit ETH. Now, it says deposit more ETH here because, once again, I did this off screen, but the process is relatively the same. You will come over here and click deposit ETH, and then you will pick, because remember, this is linked to my MetaMask that already has Ethereum on it. If you do not have Ethereum, you will either need to buy Ethereum directly from your MetaMask browser extension, which you can actually do by clicking on it, and then you can click buy, and then you can deposit ETH using either MoonPay, Transact, Wire, or directly deposit ETH if you have some on an exchange. I'm not familiar with a lot of these. I've obviously heard of MoonPay, but use these at your own discretion. Make sure you do research them. The only way that I've ever put ETH on my Metamask is by taking it off of an exchange and depositing it. And in that case, what you would do is you would click buy, you would view your account, and you would deposit it. So it's something that you guys can do. Decide what makes the most sense to you, but it's entirely up to you guys at the end of the day. So what we're doing right now is we're depositing ETH. And as you can see here, it gives me my remaining balance, which is the balance that I have in my MetaMask for Ethereum. You pick whatever you want, doesn't matter. It does if you don't have enough ETH though. And then you just click next, click confirm. And to show you guys what a transaction will look like, in case we haven't seen it yet on the video, this is what it's going to look like to you guys on your MetaMask confirmation when you're spending money. So $19.72 is the amount that I'm depositing. And we can see here that the estimated gas fee is $4.61, which for an Ethereum gas transaction is actually quite low. I've seen it as high as hundreds of dollars, but I'd say the average is anywhere between $20 and $30. So we actually have fairly low gas fees right now. So this might actually be a good time if you guys are watching this shortly after it was recorded on May 20th. Maybe a good time to look into doing this if you're considering it. And you can see that with the gas fee, the total cost is $24. Now, of course, I'm not going to confirm it because I've already made the transaction and I have Ethereum on layer 2. But it'll say that I have an error, but then when I click out, it'll say success, your deposit has been successful. That's just a glitch on IMX. You can just click go back, and if you didn't actually complete the process, it won't register that you have any Ethereum. Once you deposit your Ethereum on layer 2, confirming the process that I just showed you on MetaMask, it may take a few minutes for your balance to show up. I think it took me about 10 minutes for my balance to show up. Don't be nervous if your balance is not there right away. Give it some time, as it does take some time to go through on the blockchain. But now I have Ethereum on layer 2 so that I can transact my OMI off of layer 2 and over to layer 1. So that's your step for 7.1. So once you've done that, you got to give it some time. It says 10 hours, but once again, it only took about 10 minutes from me. If you don't have the Ethereum on layer 2 and you start transacting your OMI being removed from layer 2 to layer 1, you could conceivably lose your OMI unless you're able to add on those Ethereum gas fees afterwards to cover it. So make sure that before you confirm the transaction, when you're moving it from layer 2 to layer 1, that you have enough layer 2 Ethereum on the bridge site to cover the transaction fee from moving the OMI off of the bridge into your MetaMask. And we'll get into that in a moment, but I do want to emphasize that as well. So one of the important things, or some of the important things to be mindful of when you're doing this transaction, is knowing how you're connected and what network you are on. Now, MetaMask will always default to the Ethereum mainnet. However, there are other networks that you can add. For our purposes, there's no reason for you to add another network. Don't even play around with it. Just make sure that it says Ethereum mainnet. And once again, we want to make sure that when it says we're connected, that we're connected with the same MetaMask that we are logged into on the IMX bridge site. You can have more than one IMX account and you can have more than one MetaMask. So if you're someone who does have multiple, just make sure that they're both linked up and you're using the same account so that you don't run into any issues when you're trying to cover the gas fees and navigate the OMI withdrawal. So how are we going to go about actually removing the OMI from our account on IMX in order to get it onto our platform? Well, now we already have an ETH deposit. We've gone through these steps. We've deposited ETH like I've already walked you through, and we're making sure that we have the Ethereum in the same address. We now need to prepare the OMI for withdrawal. So what that means is that we need to unlock the tokens in the layer 2 protocol so that we can release them back into layer 1, because it's a completely separate system that it tracks on Ethereum. So we need to make sure that we've done it. And remember that once you've confirmed the transaction to prepare the tokens, you cannot reverse it, and you cannot complete a new transaction until the old transaction is completed. So you need to be aware of those steps. And what I mean by that is we go into withdraw, and over here we'll see that I'm withdrawing Ethereum. But what we want to do is withdraw OMI, so we will change it to OMI. Now, I had a balance of 1 OMI. and I started to record this video and realized that it could take 10 hours. So I prepared the 1 OMI. How I prepared the 1 OMI is that there was a box right here that said, how much OMI do you want to prepare? I only had 1 token and I selected 1 token. It was free for me to confirm it. And then it started to work on the back end in order to prepare that token. Now, as you guys can see, it says wait for withdrawal to be prepared. So I did this about 45 minutes ago, and I'm still waiting for the withdrawal to be prepared. It does say that it can take up to 10 hours, but I didn't want to wait to record this video. I wanted to get this video, guys, out for you as soon as possible so that you guys could navigate as much of this process as you could by seeing everything that I did to get up until this point. Now, of course, we can't go any further than this live because I don't have the ability to click on it until it shows up, and I'm not going to wait until the video is done. But what you guys need to be mindful of is this is all you're doing. You're withdrawing your OMI. Once again, switch it from Ethereum to OMI, and you're picking the balance that you have. Here, they had 1,000 balance, and they have 1,000 to prepare. I had a 1 balance. I did 1 to prepare. I clicked prepare, and it is now preparing. And then you sign it and confirm it. This process does not cost you any money, but I want to reiterate that once you commit to it and it starts preparing, you are essentially committed to taking those tokens off of the Immutable X bridge and moving it over to layer 1. And if you don't, you could conceivably lose those tokens. Now, I've only moved 1 token. I'm probably not even going to complete the transaction because it's going to cost me another $8 to do it. And it doesn't make sense for something that's worth 1/10 of a penny for me to spend $8 to migrate it. But I wanted to give you an idea of what it would look like. And I wanted to experience it myself so that I could get to this process confidently so that I knew that you guys could get through it too. So we can see that we're at this stage right now. We're waiting for a withdrawal to be prepared. So now we play the waiting game. So for your purposes, we're in the future now and it's already prepared. And unfortunately, I'm not going to cut the video and have it show up at this point because once again, I want to get this video out tonight for you guys. But we're prepared our OMI from layer 2 to layer 1. All we're going to do is click withdraw OMI once it is prepared and that button shows up as being available for withdrawing. And then once we do that, we will be prompted by Metamask to sign and approve the withdrawal. Once again, what signing and approving the withdrawal looks like is something like this. In case we've forgotten, this is what a confirmation looks like for you guys. It will be the exact same screen. It will tell you how much OMI, and it won't show up as Ethereum, of course. It'll show up as OMI. It will tell you how much OMI you're converting and the estimated gas cost, and then you will simply confirm it. That is all that it is asking you to do. And once you do that, you will be able to have it moved over into your MetaMask. Now, what you guys need to be aware of is that it will automatically bridge to the MetaMask that you have connected on the IMX bridge, which is why it's so important to make sure that your MetaMask and your IMX mainnet line up with the address and that you're not sending it to someone's random MetaMask that logged in to your account one day. So make sure that those line up. I know that I'm hammering home that point, but it is really important. And then one of the other things that you may notice at the end when you go to look up your OMI token is that you'll look at it and realize that your balance doesn't show up. Let's say you've transmitted $10,000 worth of OMI from VeVe Layer 2. You've done the IMX bridge process. You just confirmed it. And now you're sitting waiting for it to come through and it's not showing up and you're in a panic. Foster, I did something wrong. Tell me what I did. This doesn't look right. What you guys need to be mindful of is for one reason or another, MetaMask hasn't added full support for the OMI token. So it will not show up as an actual balance on your MetaMask. So I had $28,000 worth of OMI tokens on my MetaMask up until the other day, and it never showed up as a balance, or sorry, 24,000. It never showed up as a balance. So it only showed that I had $200, which was my Ethereum balance, but I actually had about $24,000 on my MetaMask, but it wasn't showing up. But you can see here that it was still supported. So where do you guys find that information? The OMI token is not showing up and you want to add it as a custom token. So what we're going to do, and I do believe that it's way up in this article, you're going to go to section 2.2 and add OMI to MetaMask. Now what that means is that you're going to copy the Ethereum OMI contract address, and you're going to open up Metamask, and then you're going to scroll all the way to the bottom, and you're going to import a token. Because it's not naturally supported, you have to manually import it. Do not enter it in the search function. You will not find it. You have to click on custom token. Once you click on custom token, you can paste the address, and you can see here that it says the token has already been added. I've already added the OMI token. We just saw it live, so it's not going to show up. But if you have not previously added, you will add in this token address, and it should say OMI token decimal system 18, which is what it says right here. If it does not say that, you have inputted the wrong contract address, and you need to reconfirm by copy and pasting this. Once again, fairly straightforward. Import a token, custom token, paste the address, and at that point, you will see your OMI token balance reflected. And if you actually click on your OMI token balance, you will be able to see the transactions that you've made within your wallet, and you'll be able to see them on the blockchain, how much money it cost you, when you did it, what wallet you sent it from, what wallet you sent it to, and you can view it all in the Blockchain Explorer. Guys, I think that that's basically it. This video was definitely quite a bit longer than I had intended it to be, and I do apologize for that, but it is a lot of information, and I want to make sure that you guys are doing this correctly. It is a lot of steps, but the steps aren't terribly difficult if you take them one at a time and make sure that you are double checking the work that you've done. And once again, don't be afraid to ask for help from anyone in the community. Don't be afraid to ask for help from me. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm making these videos. And I really would appreciate, guys, if you do enjoy the content that I am putting out, that you do like and subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss any other content that I will be putting out. I do have a link to Ascendex in the description down below. If you are debating staking OMI because you have seen my other videos on staking OMI, it's not financial advice, but if it's the decision that you're going to make for yourself, if you would consider using my link to download Ascendex, I do receive a small commission from any trades that you do make, and it would mean the world to me. Thank you guys for the support. If you have any questions about this video, let me know. And if there's any other content that you guys want to see, definitely let me know. I look forward to continuing to make content and have all the fun with all the stuff that's coming moving forward. I love you all. Peace.